Root beer and orange crush flavored Pop Tarts? Welcome to the Picky Eater channel. I'm Tony and I am the Picky Eater. Some would say an extreme picky eater. You know, if it comes to onions, tomatoes, peppers, mushrooms, that kind of thing, no way. Absolutely not. My mortal enemy. Of course, I've been eating Pop Tarts since I was a little kid. And some people would say I'm still a little kid as far as my eating habits go. I have a friend that likes to say, "Oh, you eat like a 3-year-old." She just always harping on me. The funny thing is, she also does, but we'll get into that in a future episode. But yeah, if it's got those things in there that I don't like, there's no way. I'm not going to eat it. But you know, it's funny because I might not be quite as picky as some picky eaters when it comes to, like, say, snack foods and that kind of things. I'm very adventurous when it comes to that. I mean, a good example, I've given this before. I don't like onions. They're, again, my mortal enemy, but I love Funyuns. I could sit down and eat a whole bag of those things. So when I saw these Pop Tarts, I actually saw the commercial first on TV. You know, the two Pop Tarts walking to the convenience store. They go to get a big gulp or something, and it sprays the orange crush and the A&W root beer on them. And, the clerk comes over and eats them. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I saw them in the store. I said, I got to get them. And then I actually saw right next to them was some maple bacon Pop Tarts and a blue raspberry. So I did pick those up. We'll do those in a future episode as well. But I was like, okay, I got to try these things. So now the packaging makes them look really good. It's very handsome packaging. They've got, brands on there that I like. Love some A&W root beer, and I love Orange Crush. I could drink, a gallon of that stuff. So yes, I was enticed. Now, of course, I could eat these things just straight out of the box, but come on, man, they're always better when they're toasted. It even says on the back of the box, right? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take these downstairs, I'm gonna toast them up, then we'll bring them back up here and we'll try them out. So let's go ahead and do that. Of course, the familiar Mylar packaging, and here are the actual Pop Tarts. You can tell which one is which. Yeah, that looks like it would be like a root beer, and of course that does look like orange crush spilled on top of there. Go ahead and pop these in the old toaster. And bingo! Man, look at that. Oh, there's nothing like the warm glow of a toaster when it's toasting your Pop Tart. Right, let's try to pull these out of here. Ooh, hot. Very nicely toasted. Got a nice little golden brown hue on them. Let's go ahead and cut these in half. Take a look at this one here. And it is indeed very orange inside on the filling. And that one is very brown and root beery. All right, well, while these are still hot, let's run upstairs and get back to the studio. By the way, I often get questions about the shirts that I wear on here. This is actually Kill Devil Grill. It's a restaurant here in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. They make really good food. And I love this shirt because it's an homage to one of my favorite Metallica albums, Kill 'Em All. This is Grill 'Em All. See down there it says on the bottom. It's got the spatula and the blood and all that stuff. But all right, so we've got these. They're all toasted. They're nice and hot. The house smells like Pop Tarts. That's one thing about Pop Tarts in the toaster is they always do smell really good. All right, so we've got the root beer one here first. Let's go ahead. I'm going to break that. I don't know so much about that. Okay. I will say that it does taste like root beer, but I will also say that I'm not so sure root beer in a Pop Tart is good. The little particles on top there, let me see if I can just get a little couple of those off there. Yeah, those taste way like root beer, and then the filling, yeah, it's not the greatest thing, but I'll have another bite. I don't know, maybe it kind of grows on you. That's not too bad. You know what I like to do with the chocolate ones is when they're real hot, that's when you spread peanut butter on the back of them or even on the front. And they're really good. That might taste good with that, but I'm pretty much on the fence on that. Root beer and a Pop Tart, But I've got high hopes for this one. This is the Orange Crush one, so let's go ahead and get a bite of that. Well, first I'm just going to see if I can taste a little bit of just the filling. Oh man, that really smells like an Orange Crush. The filling is good by itself. Tastes like candy. I don't know. It's okay. Here's the interesting thing. The first bite on both of these, I was like, not so much. But once I had a couple bites of them, they kind of grow on you. It's not too bad at all. I'm going to have another bite of the orange one, actually. That's really interesting because I've had orange flavored stuff like that before. And it's not just orange candy or orange, like, an orange filling. It actually has, Orange Crush has like a certain kind of taste to it, a tang to it. And that has got it. So they've nailed the flavor on that one. And I'd say the flavor on the root beer one was pretty close. Out of the two, though, the Orange Crush is definitely the one that I would prefer. Altogether, not too horrible, but not my first preference. I prefer a chocolate Pop Tart and spread that peanut butter on it when it's hot so it gets melty. That is good. These I'd give them a 5 or 6 out of 10, maybe even a 7 after a couple bites. It is weird how that is because the first bite you're like, not so much, but after a couple bites it's not too bad. So that is an official Picky Eater taste test of the A&W Root Beer and Orange Crush Pop Tarts. Working on some great stuff for this channel. If you're a picky eater, know a picky eater, or you just enjoy watching stuff with food, well, this is the place to be, and I really, really appreciate you watching the video. If you like what you see, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos with your friends. I just picked up 3 really good ciders and 3 sour beers, and we're going to do some more taste testing on those types of things here on the channel. And if you have any suggestions of things that you'd like to see, or suggestions of odd foods, or maybe a family recipe that you'd like to see at the Picky Eater make Picky Eater approved, then you can leave those down in the comments. I do appreciate you. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Picky Eater channel.